Welcome everyone, it's Matt, and today we just got notice that trainers are going to get to level 80. It's going to happen after October 14th, right on October 15th at midnight, your local time. Let's get class started and let's go. So today I'm going to talk about what to expect and try to give a couple quick hints on how to get to level 50 or as close as possible. But starting on Wednesday, October 15th, we will be able to get to level 80. So the level cap is going to increase to 50 to 80, and the leveling curve will be rebalanced. And some players will be able to earn levels more frequently. And honestly, I think we expect the exponential to be lowered overall from the statement that they're saying. Tasks for level up research for 41 to 50 will be removed, but that's only after October 15th. Those will be replaced by research tasks that will be added to levels 71 through 80. So it'll be just similar to 41 to 50, just moved out farther. And players at level 70 and higher will have an increased chance of becoming lucky friends with other players. Right now, we do not understand how much more. Right now, we're just slightly over 1%. Is that going to give us 1.5, 2? We're totally unsure. Are they going to add up if you're friends with a bunch of level 70s and higher? There's a lot of questions there that we need to ask. New rewards will be added up to level progression, like increased storage capacity for Pokemon, items, and gifts. Honestly, that's kind of exciting. This include new avatar items starting at level 25, and we expect to see a lot of those happen even to players who are level 50, because on October 15th, we will receive rewards associated which reaching those levels, and we may automatically jump in level. Now, the bigger question is we don't know what the new levels are going to be, don't understand how much more. And I'll kind of show you, if you're level 50, how much extra XP you've received already as well. No players are expected to go down in level, but the amount of XP needed to reach may change. So that's telling me that some of the higher levels might be lowered down slightly. So we shall see if they do increase overall and expect more XP. Then we just might get longer. But from what they're talking, I expect maybe it won't be 176 million to get to level 50, instead a little lower. That would be kind of nice, but who knows? Also, if you get to level 50 or below level 50, you'll get a special medal commemorating your highest achieved level. So if you look on the right-hand side here, you see the level 50s in red, and you'll get level 1 through 49 in the blue. So if you're level 48 by October 15th, you'll get the 48 number. If you're level 50, you'll get the 50 number. Also, all trainers who've reached level 50 will be able to show the level 50 jacket, and there will be a new avatar pose as well on this achievements. So on the left and right hand side, sorry, you can see the glasses pose, hat, another pose, boots, and jackets that you'll have depending on which levels you are. So what's going to change starting basically today? We from 1 p.m. Pacific, so it'll be 4 p.m. Probably roughly when this video will be uploaded. All trainers will get the following bonuses. You will get 2 times the catch XP from nice, great, excellent throws, and 3,000 XP from winning raids and max battles. There will be timed research available to all trainers who are level 5 and above. This research will give trainers a chance to earn over 7 million XP. That in itself is about 4% of the total XP needed to get to level 50. Finally, and I'll talk about this a little bit later too in detail, the level 47 level research task, which was walk 25 kilometers in 8 weeks or 8 times. You only need to do so twice. If they didn't do this, you'd be stuck at level 47 time gated. But even with that, 2 weeks with the really only about 9 weeks to go is kind of tight. So if you have these leveling milestones and you want to get the jacket, I know a lot of trainers are stuck at certain levels, and we'll talk about that next. So here are the level requirements from 41 to 50. showing up to 176 million XP. Level 41 is pretty easy. Winning 30 raids and catching 200 Pokemon in a single day are going to be the major challenges here, but all in all, don't expect too much of a stand. Powering up a legendary Pokemon 20 times. If you don't know what legendary Pokemon are, just type in legendary in your Pokemons and you power up those 20 times and you'll get that one pretty quickly. Level 42 is evolve Eevee into each of its unique evolutions. It is easy if you haven't done the naming trick. If you have done the naming trick, you'll have to do each and every one of those. While you are doing the level 42 requirements, it doesn't mean that if you've done them before, you're okay. Everything else here is pretty simple. Items to evolve Pokemon 15 times, make 3 excellent throws, and use 200 berries to catch Pokemon are pretty simple. Level 43 is 100,000 Stardust, super effective charge attacks, 200, catch 5 legendary Pokemon, and earn 5 platinum medals. Platinum medals is going to be one of the biggest challenges, and it will probably hit you pretty hard at level 49. But for the 200 super effective charge attacks, if you're stuck there, going to level 43. The one thing is to go to the trainer battles, and you know that depending on which trainer that you use, which Pokemon that they're going to use, and you can get the 200 super effective charge attacks that way. The other way is if you're doing small raids or max battles, even you can do the super effective charges there. So that's not too bad in general. Level 44, it's winning 30 trainer battles in Great Ultra and Master League. I know a lot of trainers are stuck here. Basically, what you need to do is battle in the Go Battle League 20 times. Once you have done that, go get a friend who has Pokemon Go, and you can battle them in both the Great Ultra and Master Leagues. They could put in 10 CP Pokemon for all 3 of those. And just winning 30 of each of those battles will count for level 44. And that's where a lot of trainers I know are stuck, and some of them have over 100 million on top of that, which would get them pretty much to level 49 if they get through all the requirements. In general, this one can be done pretty quickly if you have the XP at 53.5 million XP total, or 11 million just for that level. And if you are like got a whole bunch and you got stuck behind in one of the other levels, you can do this in less than an hour. Level 45 is pretty simple to do. It's the earn 10 platinum medals that might be the toughest, but it is time consuming because you have to purify 100 shadow Pokemon and defeat 100 rocket grunts and 50 rocket leaders. You can kind of make this go by a little faster by spending some coins and buying rocket radars, as on average, you would expect to have around 17 to 18 rocket leaders defeated by the time you go through the 100 rocket grunts. Giovanni does help a little bit by giving you a lot of the rocket radars, but in general, this one will take you a little bit of time. Yes, you can grind this. And yes, you can kind of make this go a little faster by buying rocket radars. It is a bit expensive though. It's 3,500 coins. I would expect you have to pay for the rocket radars to get through this quickly, but 45 can be done quickly through that. Level 46 is time gated, but the good news is it's only time gated by a week. So basically, you just need to take a snapshot Pokemon 7 days in a row. Completing 100 field research tests does require grinding, but it's not, I would say, very arduous overall. There are pretty easy field research tests out there, and you can do them probably in about 2 hours there. The 50 excellent throws, if you do raids, that's a little bit easier. It could slow you down a little bit, but if you play a decent amount and you can find larger Pokemon, the 50 excellent throws can be done fairly quickly. And hatch 30 eggs is probably the longest one, but if you got a bunch of 2 kilometer eggs and or other incubators, then you can do this fairly quickly. Generally, you need to refresh at least 3 or 4 times through your entire inventory to get to 30 eggs. But or at least right now, I've been getting a lot of 2 kilometer eggs, and that should at least be relatively quick at 60 kilometers if you do them one at a time. If you do them with the up to 12 and you have a bunch of twos and a few fives and tens, you could probably get that done in around 25 kilometers in general, which you'll need to do weekly anyways for level 48. The level 47 requirements was an interesting one. If you run in a large group, it's not that bad. The win 30 raids using a team of unique Pokemon species can be done pretty quickly and still have a lot of power behind them. So that one's not too bad. If you do a raid day, you should be able to power through these pretty quickly. Just be careful. Not all raids will count. Max raids didn't count, or at least they didn't a couple months ago. So you got to be careful there. The longest one is to power up 3 Pokemon to their max CP. That is going to require an awful lot of XL candies. The good news is if for like Rookie D, Community Day, etc., you can get a decent amount of XLs, and usually with that, you'll be able to get one of the 3 with Rookie D, and you can do that with others that you have as well. The 20 platinum medals requires a little bit of timing. That's where you could really get slowed down. And the big issue I have is that they are giving us a lot of XP, but the platinum medals are going to be the biggest impact to most trainers, especially when we get to level 49. Level 48 requirements, 10 souvenirs from your buddy. As long as your buddy is at 3 hearts or greater, or 3 overall hearts, you can earn souvenirs. Basically, you can just keep them in your party till they give you a souvenir and, feed them a little bit, excite them. If you get them fully excited, they're much more likely to give you souvenirs. And you only need to do 10 of them. If you have 10 great buddies or higher, then you will be able to get this done pretty quickly. 300 hearts with your buddy and 200 kilometers with your buddy is not bad overall for level 48 requirements. You're going to be doing a lot of walking here. If you don't do a great deal of walking, the 200 kilometers can be an issue. Generally, for level 48, the 200 kilometers wasn't much of an issue because you had to do 8 weeks of 25 kilometers or more, which honestly was your 200 kilometers to begin with, anyways. But now, with that, this is going to be your biggest issue. You are time gated for 2 weeks. But if you level up on Sunday, Monday would count as week 1, and then the next Monday is week 2. So you could still get this done within 8 days, as long as you walk 200 kilometers. Level 48 is the beginning of the pretty large roadblocks to get to level 50. But what I feel is the biggest roadblock will be level 49. Level 49, make 10 trades with Pokemon caught at least 300 kilometers apart. That one's usually not too bad. You can go online and go into trade groups to try to find people to do those 10 trades. As long as they live you 300 kilometers away from you, you just need to do 10 trades and you're done with that. Obtain 50 lucky Pokemon in trades. That will be challenging. It is increased if you did not do any lucky Pokemon trades to begin with, as long as you have older Pokemon. So 2016 through 2021, I believe, are guaranteed luckies as long as up to the first 35 luckies total. It's not, you can do this trick 35 times. As long as you have not done up to 35 lucky trades. This, along with the earned 35 platinum medals, I feel are real big roadblocks in general. The 50 lucky trades you can do as long as you find some Pokemon Go players and are willing to just do 100 trades every day with each other. At that point, you should be able to get the lucky trades. Generally, I get 3 to 5 every mass trading. So that's, 2 weeks there. But right now, between level 48 and 49, I expect that to cost about 4 weeks in general. You can usually get it maybe a little bit faster on the 50 lucky trades if you are lucky and or can force a few first. Then obviously that will require your timing a little less. But the 500 gifts to friends, that it will require 4 days at the very least, even on the best. And the 35 platinum medals, I could definitely see an awful lot of trainers stuck there. Finally, level 50. Personally, it was the XP that took the longest for level 50. The 999 excellent throws did take some time, but we were doing an awful lot of raids. And honestly, I got that done within the first 12 million or so. With the new bonuses 2x, I could see that maybe being near the end, but I would expect a decent amount of the trainers that are trying to get to level 50 be able to still get the 999 before they get to 330 million. The catch a legendary Pokemon in your next 5 legendary Pokemon encounters. There are two ways you can do this easily. The first way is if there is a raid day for a legendary Pokemon. If you just do 5 legendary Pokemon and catch them, those raids, that will work pretty easily. The other way is to farm medals, and with that, those will count. Medals will give you our legendary, and you can then do 5. That will get you there. If you don't know how to do that, you could search that through others. I'm not going to explain it now. Defeat a Team Go Rocket Leader 3 times using only Pokemon 2500 CP or less. That can be a bit challenging, especially since they start throwing out really, really, really high CP values. That can be pretty challenging, but as long as you know the weaknesses and understand that when you change out your Pokemon, it does delays, and doing fast charge moves will give you additional delays, and you can kind of stun spam a bit with that. I was able to do that fairly quickly. Um, and generally, if you could find one of the 3 trainers that you're really strong with like your 4,000, 2,480 CP Pokemon, choose those to do them 3 times in a row, and you'll be done with that pretty quickly. And to achieve rank 10 and to go Battle League, generally, I know a lot of trainers don't like PvP, but in general, that does not require an awful lot of wins. And there are some pretty good charts that we can look at to get there. Rank 10, you can do in 4 or 5 days. The 999 excellent throws and the 30 million EXP are probably the bigger, what I would say, time crunches than anything else. I mean, I know some trainers that have almost enough and they're stuck at level 44. They probably have enough XP where they could just fly through everything else and just need to get through the CP. Okay, with that, there are some clarifications that were just posted. Max Pokemon level will stay at 50, so there's not going to be any XXLs, or at least not yet. So there's no going to be changes to the CPM, and we're going to have Pokemon levels stay the same after this update. But you still need to be level 40 to power up Pokemon to level 50. That is not changing, and they're not increasing the level required either. So that should be actually a little bit of a quality of life improvement there. There is no increase in Pokemon power or anything related to them. This is only focused on trainer levels. And I just wanted to repeat that word for word. This level increase really is aimed at promoting the game and adding new energy to returning and new trainers. Basically, what this is saying is look, we know that there's a lot of trainers at level 50. They don't care about EXP anymore. They want to give trainers more reason to grind, aka Scopely wants more money. Because lucky eggs definitely aren't really needed for most of the community because a lot of them are at level 50. This will now change. I will agree that, with Pokemon being 10 years next year, I don't have a problem with increasing the trainer levels. this will really help out a lot of other trainers and so forth. So I don't have a problem with the level 80. And I'll be honest, I'm glad that they're not making the Pokemon any higher level either. So it's more just trying to make XP worthwhile again for at least a while. And they're going to give you rewards for getting through it. So at least I see for free to play players that do a lot of catching, and you can do that obviously for free. They at least get some rewards for going through all of the XP, and there will be new challenge levels from 71 to 80, and you will get rewards there. So that I do like. And even if you are at max storage right now, the leveling up for free will get you more storage for both Pokemon and items. So you're not going to be, if you're maxed out, I'm not, but if you are, you're not going to get penalized for it. And they're actually increasing the amount that you can through this. So just reach the correct levels. We don't know exactly when that is or how many, and it will be applied to your account. And some of the avatar rewards that are currently available for leveling between levels 40 and 50, especially, will no longer be obtainable once the leveling experience goes live. We'll get more of those details later. Finally, we have the XP Celebration Ultra Box, and it's for $10. So your pricing tier, limit 3 per player. And what's really frustrating is, and this is taken directly from the blog post, that the lures and the incense don't match the wording and the pictures. So the wording says 15 lucky eggs, one incubator, one incubator, 5 incense, and 2 lure modules. And the graphic shows 5 lure modules and 2 incenses. I expect that the graphic here is incorrect, but really the big thing here is if you're going for XP celebration, the biggest one in most trainers will be the lucky eggs. Some trainers out in more rural areas, incenses will be helpful. Lure modules, I only like when you are doing in a very large group and you're doing stuff like Rookity Day, etc. Then lure modules are useful. But in general, I prefer using incense if I'm just trying to get more Pokemon in general, because I'm just walking mostly in straight lines, and incense is a better bang for your buck than lure modules, especially since they can last really long depending on certain conditions. Like community days, 1 incense will last you 3 hours. Same with the lures, but lures usually you have to stand around. Incenses make you go, and those basically will allow more Pokemon to spawn between the normal ones and then the incense on top of it. So right now you could buy 16 eggs for 1,000 coins, 15 of them for 9.99 plus 2 incubators and 7 between lures and incense. I'm not saying it's a great deal. It's not a bad deal. But really, one of the frustrating things, lucky eggs, you could sometimes get when we have our Sunday and Tuesday or Wednesday community events each week. But generally, we get Stardust, which honestly is more important, or Star Pieces, I should say. Lucky eggs are generally a little rarer to get. I will say, if you are a spender or not just 100% free to play, there are much better deals out there in the boxes. I have seen 100 eggs plus 50 star pieces, I believe, for 6,000 coins. That is by far the best deal for lucky eggs. And the best times to use lucky eggs are either community days or when you get best friends, especially if we get the 50% bonus and you get 150,000 XP. Using a lucky egg is worth another 150,000 XP. And you can usually try and combine them. And I know that a lot of trainers get frustrated that people are waiting for best friends. But it is an acceptable technique, especially if you could try and communicate to those friends, hey, to community day, I'm going to have 7 best friends. You can also plan for it as well, and that would be really helpful. And also that means that you talk to the other trainers and let them know, and they can also plan on trying to get that XP as well. With that, that's the end of class for today. This went on much longer than I really expected it to, but all in all, this is going to be a pretty fun thing, and we should be able to get free rewards for it, even for free to play. For trainers who have not received level 50 yet, try to get as far as you can. Don't worry too much, but yes, it will. Some items you might not be able to get, and they'll be locked out forever. I just kind of wish that they gave us a little bit more timing so more traders would have a better opportunity of getting there. But that's what we have. And with that, if you enjoy these, please like and subscribe. That really helps my channel. You can also get on my Discord. That is in my community folder. You can also become a member, get your name at the end of the credits, and it helps me out. And I'm also on twitch.tv/MattGuru. But all in all, I really need to end this video. You all have a good day, and as always, I'll do better next time. Class is dismissed. Bye, everyone.